Hello everybody and welcome back to the Chateau and what is an immense clear up at the same time as it's not just clearing up from the party, it is just clearing up, just making the place look good, and I'm really enjoying that at the moment. That's one of the great things about hosting a big event is you run at so many different things to get the place looking as good as possible. It always improves everything a little bit every year. So as much as I have to pack down things, and lots of people have asked why it's taking so long to pack down, well, everything's getting fixed before it goes away. Got to make sure everything is working so we can just take it out next time rather than think about fixing everything, because there was quite a lot that needed to be fixed this year as soon as we brought it out. Plus things like the stage and all the rest of it isn't really finished. It was good enough for the day, but it needs to be finished more. And I'm doing other stuff at the same time, like making the place look pretty. Clean up is to empty the trailers and the recycling centre that takes it all is only open on certain days. So I need the trailers empty so I can take stuff back and move stuff around. But as there wasn't huge amounts in the trailer, I thought I'd just do a little bit of clearing along the way. This bank's looking so much better now. So all the little saplings which we couldn't trim through, just cut them off, and then hopefully I can get this bank, little areas like down there, trimmed away, and see if I can get these covered, the banks covered in the weed mat, so we don't have this problem again. So loads and loads and loads of very relevant questions in the comments. And first one to address is, why didn't I show more of the party? Well, kind of impossible. One, cameras and rain. Two, running around like a lunatic all day. Which is the same as every other party I've ever had here. I mean, the only reason why we got decent footage of last year's is because it was my 40th birthday last year, and Billy filmed a segment and put it together for me, because it was, otherwise I wouldn't have had any memory of my 40th birthday, for many reasons, obviously, not least just the filming part of it. And it was definitely no different to this event. The problem with, the electrics blew at one point, so I'm running around doing that. I felt so sorry for all the people that were getting soaking wet who arrived early. I ended up showing loads of people around the house so they could feel a little bit special, because it's not open to the public, it's not open to anyone in the party really, so they could actually come and see things. So they got something for turning out early and supporting something which we thought was going to be a complete washout. So that compared with, where's this film, where's this, where's that, the electrics are blown, it's very, very difficult to film huge amounts of the party. And ultimately there is a small segment of that as well, that it's the people at the party that should be seeing it all. I love to show you bits because you've supported the run-up and everything else, but it's very, very difficult to film. So hopefully that addresses that bit. And then the next one is, why is the pack down taking so long? Well, to move everything, I need trailers empty, and the recycling centres are only open certain days a week, and you have a very limited amount that you're allowed to get rid of each day. So I've got an empty trailer. I can take these back hopefully tomorrow to the convent, wipe those all down, put those away, and with that empty trailer I can move some of these. This can come down and be put where it's supposed to be. There are odds and ends here. The main thing is the stage. This is the very last thing to go down, because this lives in the trailer that I'm using to take everything all over the place. Plus this still needs huge amounts of work. This was put up literally we were testing a theory. It held up extremely well, it worked, and without that frame and all of the plastic welded stuff that we put on, without any of that we couldn't have held the event, because it was just rained out, you couldn't have a stage. But all the metal needs painting before the winter. There are bolts that would need changing. There's all sorts of bits and pieces which, while it's still up and we have September, which is usually reasonably good weather, I'm going to make all the adjustments to this ready for next year, so we're not chasing my backside. Things like that game, I've got the counters for the Connect 4 I need to fix, some of them broken, and I want to give that another coat of paint while it's out because we've got good weather. But the main one, that's got to go, that cover's dead. The main one is the Horsebox bar, and now this thing has been a pain in my backside since the day I first started this, because this was originally filmed for the TV show, and I had to do that slowly only when the TV crew were going to be here to film it. And obviously my life took a drastic turn, so we didn't finish that with the TV show. And then this ends, because it's usable when we're running up against time, this ends up being the very, very last thing we ever get to, and it gets small amounts of love each year and never finished off. But the weather's supposed to be nice. I don't want to do this in the workshop. What I want to do is sort of sit out here looking back at the house and going, oh, this is lovely, because also anything that I might think of at the same time would come about. Because this worked very, very well, but it's quite good, but it does need large amounts of work. Now, if anybody watching has ever done one of these or been to an event where they have seen one of these, I am currently considering, which is also why it's still here, and this is also why this hasn't been painted, to cut this and put this on chains and have this come down as not a serving hatch, as a place for empties to come back in, and then this could be on and sealed. That's one more part of it being waterproof. I need to get the hydraulic rams for this, and then we need to worry about lighting, because as you can see we ended up using huge amounts of candles because we haven't got round to putting the actual electrics in and the lighting, which is also why there are small holes still in the roof, because I didn't want to seal them up if that's where we're going to use to mount things. I certainly didn't want to drill anything else afterwards, and I want to get this floor stained and the bar top stained. So hopefully before this goes away for the winter, that might actually be finished. But I do need a few suggestions for anyone that's out there. Love to hear it. So for anybody out there that may have done one of these before, or you've been to events where they've had these in good weather, the tailgate actually stays propped up and we have a secondary serving area on the back. Something I could do, but I think we did quite well out of just the space that we had, so maybe that's not as useful as I think. Maybe it's just added work. And it's lighting. I think lighting and the other little bits and pieces. So if anyone's got any suggestions out there, please do leave a comment. If you've seen something and seen how well it works, or maybe you've worked one at an event, or you've seen how it didn't work, love to hear some suggestions, because I want to get that finished before it goes away for the winter, gets wrapped up in a tarp, and probably not brought out until spring. So that is why the cleanup is taking longer, because it's not just put it all away, because if you put it all away straight away, you just going to have exactly the same thing next year as we have this year, where you run up against time and you can't finish stuff because you just put it away, as opposed to having, because I've got the month of September where it's still good weather out here, it's a little bit quieter, so I can hopefully finish all of these things which didn't get done while it's fresh in the mind, and well, the next time it's all dragged out for an event, it will be so much easier, so much better, and everything will be a little bit easier. Now, getting back to normality, once this stuff comes down, some more interesting stuff. At the moment, doing 45 dishwasher runs full of cups, glasses, and all the rest of it is not particularly interesting, and certainly trying to mop the half a field out of my house is not really video worthy. So, we will be back to normal service very, very soon, or interesting stuff like the Horseworks Bar. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of your support for the party, and thank you everybody that donated to the Buy Me a Coffee. Once, like I said, I'll leave that open for another couple of weeks, and as soon as we've got to the end of the party and all the rest of it and the pack down, I'll close that off, and all of that will then go to the two charities. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, everybody that clicked the link in the description and donated to that, because you couldn't obviously attend the party. Hopefully we will have raised huge amounts of money for the two charities, for the Dog Rescue Centre Grandes, and obviously MND Association, which is what makes it all worthwhile, which is what this entire thing was for. Now, I'm going to go have a shower, eat a pizza, and go to bed. We'll see everyone tomorrow, bright and early. Bye now.